wanted to talk to you about a little bit about the 14 most beautiful small towns in Connecticut that you should visit. Greg, why don't you go ahead and run us through the list here and we'll talk about each town, and then you and I will play a little game here.
Okay, yeah, I can get down with
Keep
that.
a little tally. If you sold a house in that town, you get a point.
All right, I'm feeling pretty good about this list.
All right, let's do it. What's number one on the list, Greg?
Number one
This
on
is
the
in no
list?
particular order, by the way. This is just kind of how they randomly put them out.
I think the game's rigged, but we have Mystic, so
I'm Groton and I'm Stonington, but I'm not Mystic.
I've also got nothing in Mystic.
So we're over for the first one. What do they say here about Mystic, though? Give a quick little synopsis.
Yeah, so old town named after the Pequot term Mistook, which refers to the Great Tidal River. So great little resort village.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Historic resort village and census designated place is located along the Mystic River shores in Groton and Stonington, towns of New London County. So, I mean, if we were going Groton, I had it covered. If we had Stonington, I had it covered. But the village of Mystic, I did not, or the borough, I should say. They actually call it a borough. So we are both 0 for there, but I'm about to get on the board here with the next town on the list. What is the next town, Greg?
Next town on the list, we have Chester, Connecticut.
Chester, Connecticut is one of my favorite places of all time. And actually,
I love downtown Chester.
Our teammate Alan yesterday said he has often heard Chester called the Paris of New England.
Really? I've never heard that.
I had never heard it either, but according to Alan Spotlow, Alan, I hope you're listening, Alan, because we're putting you on the hot seat right
here. Yeah, they
here.
have the winter parade, so I think it's in February at the end of. I've been to that a couple times. Chester's a tiny little town, but the main street is very quaint, and they have all these tractors that drive down Main Street in Chester in the February winter parade. They got ice carving, so it's a good thing to do with the kids when you're kind of got the winter blues and you're itching for spring. Check it out. It's a good time.
Absolutely. And they also do the Chester 4 on the 4th, which is a 4-mile road race held on the 4th of July. That's always a great time. And probably about a month ago, actually, I was in Chester. What they did was they had a block party. All the businesses got together. It's like Chester Main Street, right? They close off Main Street to vehicle traffic. And it's just everybody's walking around. There's got bands playing. There was a little concert you could have gone to. All the restaurants are open. And so you just go in, you check them out. They had some specials going. You grab something to eat. It wasn't like a high school kegger party, right? There were some beverages being shared, right?
What's the main restaurant bar there? The Paddock?
Paddock. That's right.
Gotta go to the Paddock.
And also in Chester is the Hadline Ferry, the state's second oldest continuously operating ferry service. All right, so I'm on the board. Greg, what do you got next?
Next on the list, we have Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
I'll go ahead.
I've got zeros across this whole list, Chaz. I don't like.
I got two. I got one Chester, one Old Saybrook, and I love Old Saybrook because it's the town I grew up in. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, I will share a little bit about Old Saybrook. It's one of the state's oldest and most beautiful towns. I don't know if you bike ride, you run, whatever, but you have to go like over the causeway from Saybrook Point, like
or
through
golf.
Knollwood,
you golf in Fenwick.
Golf in Fenwick. Absolutely gorgeous little town. And one of the nice parts about it is there's like the town part. And then on the other side of town is where they've started to build everything up. That's where the Whole Foods is going. That's where the Kohl's went and the Big Y went, right? So they're putting everything, they're keeping their quaint small town side, and then they're starting to develop some of the other land.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's one of the things I love about Branford, where I live, which is they've got the Branford Green, and then they've got the area at Branford Hill where they put all the stores. So, Old Saybrook's a really nice town.
And actually, the gentleman who discovered, invented, I guess I would say, the submarine is from Old Saybrook, Connecticut. And the original submarine is still in the historic house in Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
Really?
So, yeah. And you've also got the Kate. So you've got Katharine Hepburn's house. And then you also have the Kate Art Center there where they get a lot of great bands. Rusted Root played there like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they get some comedians too.
Yeah.
There was, who was it? I think Gary Goldman was just there, one of my favorite comedians.
And not to mention our fearless leader, Byron, just recently purchased a house in Saybrook and renovated it. So when he is in town, which he is heading back right now to Connecticut, that's where he resides, is in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. All right, so I'm up 2-0 on you.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Next on the list, this one was definitely a surprise for me. I don't know if you guys are super familiar. Chaplin, Connecticut.
I am, because I have supported an organization there. We actually had them on the radio probably about a year ago. There's a place called Veterans Base Camp out in Chaplin, Connecticut. And it was a crazy story because I invited the executive director on, and all of a sudden she popped up on the screen and Byron's like, "We know each other." he had the listing when it was for sale when her organization came in to buy it, Veterans Base Camp. He's like, oh yeah, we made hamburgers and hot dogs out on the patio for you guys. It was like this nostalgic moment. They were catching up. So they have a 45-acre plot where veterans can go either if they just came out of service or if they're going through a tough time in their lives, and they can stay right on site. There's cabins, there's a bunkhouse, and they work with them through, they do some life skill stuff. They can do some counseling, but absolutely wonderful organization. They have a food pantry where they go and deliver food to other veterans who can't get out on their own. So they just do an amazing job there. They actually just bought it from some developers who were trying to do something, in the gray area. But they recently went through that and they were able to secure the funding and get it done. So great little town, kind of out there, but not a town I've sold a house in.
Yeah.
You?
Nope.
I mean, it's interesting. I've lived in Connecticut almost my whole life, and there's a few towns on this list. I had to Google them and see where they were. I mean, it's even though it's a small state, a lot of us don't get to all the little nooks and crannies of Connecticut.
Nope.
But that's why you tune into Real Estate Radio. We're going to let you in on the good stuff here.
All right, Greg, what do we got next?
Next on the list, we have Washington, Connecticut. Fun fact about Washington, not sure if it's true or not, but I heard at one time, or maybe now, Keith Richards owned a house in Washington, Connecticut. And while he was renovating it, the Rolling Stones practiced in the barn before they went on tour.
That is awesome. So at one time, of their 3,646 inhabitants, one of them could have been Keith Richards.
That's right.
I'm not surprised about that at all, knowing Keith Richards. House there, yes, no?
No, that's way out there.
All right, so I'm still up 2-0. What's up next on the list?
Next, we have Litchfield, beautiful old historic Litchfield. I don't know, some good restaurants, close to the city-ish.
Former administrative center of Litchfield County. Litchfield is located in the state's Northwest Hills planning region, 95 miles from New York City's Central Park. Huh. All right. What do we got next?
Next, we have Cornwall. So out in that same area of the state, the home of many covered bridges and
they call it the Quiet Corner out in Cornwall there. It is gorgeous, but you are 30 minutes from anything.
Is that the Quiet Corner? I thought the Quiet Corner was like Putnam.
Is it? I thought I know it's the Northwest Corner. You've got like Kent, Cornwall.
It is quiet up there.
It is, yeah. It's
a few
I don't know if they call it that,
quiet
but that's a true statement.
Yeah, home of the covered bridges. It's been spanning the Housatonic River since 1864. However, only one of the bridges has survived the test of time, a well-known tourist destination and among the state's most photographed locations. It is in the Mohawk State Forest. Wow, and they're the greenest town in Connecticut, so that is a big shout
Also
out.
on a Mohawk Mountain ski area. I've never skied there. I think that's the only ski resort in Connecticut I have not been to.
All right, we got to move through this before we catch our next break. What is up next, Greg?
Yeah, next we're getting back to the Connecticut River Valley. We've got Essex.
That's 3 points.
Oh, nothing for me again.
Essex is considered the best small town in America. The town's well-maintained colonial-style structures and enticing village center will fascinate the tourists. So Connecticut River Museum, Essex Steam Train, Iverton Playhouse, Benjamin Bushnell Farm, Centerbrook Congregational Church, and the Pratt House. So 3 for me,
And
none for Greg.
Griswold Inn, the Grizz.
The Grizz.
If you've never
Oldest
been,
sports bar in the country.
It's a swell spot.
Paddock not too far behind there. So great spot. All right, what's up next?
All right, we're going back out to Western Connecticut. We have Kent. I believe the great Alex Pepe lives in Kent.
Yeah, so that's out near that Cornwall area too. I'm an Ophir here, but what do they say about Kent? A gateway to the idyllic northwest corner of Connecticut. The quaint New England town is located approximately 90 miles north of New York City. It coexists peacefully in Kent along magnificent scenic beauty, making it an ideal refuge for nature lovers. All right, back to the shoreline here. Let's go ahead and run through the rest of these. We've got Madison. I got a point there. You got a point there?
I've got none on this list.
All right, I'm 4.
That's a town I grew up in. We got both the towns that we grew up in on the list here.
Yeah, you got Hammonasset, Meg's Point. You got it all going on. All right, we got Monroe. I got nothing there. Monroe is considered a bedroom community of Bridgeport, so down in that part of the state. I got nothing for that one. Putnam. I love Putnam. Love their town center. They've got a great little place where they do outdoor concerts. Again, lots of restaurants and shops right in Putnam Center there. That is up the 395 corridor. I don't have Putnam, but I have Thompson. It's neighboring town. But
yeah, I've got Woodstock, but no.
Yeah, I've got a Woodstock
Putnam.
too. Yeah, so we're either side of Putnam there. All right, what else we got on this? We got Westport. coming in, and that is on the Sagatuck River with the state's Gold Coast, only 52 miles northeast of New York City. And then we got Colebrook. We're going back out to that northwest corner there, and that is going to do it for the 14 small towns in Connecticut that you should visit